Shady, you are plugged in, not just into the locker room, but you are plugged into both Jalen Hurts to A.J. Brown. Obviously, he greeted you, said what's up to me during the course of the game. Shady, be honest, man. A.J. Brown, his frustration, it's a big deal or no deal? You have been a superstar for that team before.
It's a big deal. It's a big, big deal, right? And I think A.J. Brown's a big, big deal for our team. He's a big, big player. We really need him. And I think his frustration is not about the stats. I feel like everybody on Twitter and on TV, they keep talking about A.J. Brown's attitude for stats. It's not about that. It's about the Eagles' offense and the potential it has to be one of the elites of the elites. Now, granted, a guy like Saquon Barkley and his offensive line, they are taking over the show. And that's cool with A.J. Brown. Yeah. But that game right there, we should have blew that team out, right? And even though Jalen Hurts only throwing the ball 20 or 21 or 22 times a game, that's okay. That's enough passes for everybody to get around. You talk about Smitty, he should get his type of targets. A.J. Brown get his type of targets. But if Jalen Hurts was playing a little better in some of these passes with even 20 attempts, that's all you need to get this offense going. And I think that A.J. Brown is upset because if you look at a team like the Detroit Lions, they run the ball a lot. Yeah. But when called on to pass the ball, they can pass as well. Yeah. If you stop the run, they still could be an efficient offense. If you stop our run, are we efficient offense? And that's the only problem is like, hey, we're trying to win a Super Bowl, right? And the only way we're going to win the Super Bowl if Saquon and the line are still doing what they got to do, but we need Jalen Hurts to do his part. Yeah. And as a teammate, right, I can respect the interview because he didn't throw the ball under the bus. No. If you said there's one thing we got to change about the Eagles' offense, it's the passing game. Yeah. I ain't got to call my teammate out. He threw for 100 yards. I gotta like try to call you out? No. But if you ask me what do we got to improve on our offense, it's got to be the passing game. Yeah. For us to be elite offense. That's my point.
That's well said. It's a huge deal. A.J. Brown's frustration, it is a huge deal. Number one, shout out to A.J. Brown because he has bit his tongue for weeks now. They asked him before the game, he didn't say nothing. They asked him last week, he didn't say nothing. Now they're asking him post-game, and in the midst of frustration and an emotional moment, all he says is passing. James, I got a question for you, the receiver at the desk. A.J. Brown, where does he rank as far as receivers in the National Football League?
Top 5 and he's not 5.
Top 5 and he's not 5. If A.J. Brown's a top 5 receiver, why in the world does he rank 43rd in targets a game? No, crazy. If he's a top 5 receiver, let's show the full screen, please. Why in the world does A.J. Brown rank 43rd in targets a game at 6.6?
That's terrible.
Furthermore, let me dismantle this misnomer that it's because of Saquon Barkley that A.J. Brown ain't eating. Everybody can eat. Everybody can eat. Look at the Ravens, look at the Lions, and look at the Eagles. These are the rush attempts by the top 2 running backs per team. Ravens got 280 rush attempts, but Lamar still got 29 passing touchdowns and 3,300 yards. The Lions, those top 2 running backs have 358 attempts, and Goff still got 25 passing touchdowns and 3,300 yards. The Eagles got 316 rush attempts from their top 2 running backs, and Jalen got 16 touchdowns and 2,600 yards. Why am I eliminating the quarterback run? Because half the time Jalen is running the ball on passing plays when A.J. Brown is actually open. Of course you should be frustrated. Last thing I'll say is this. If A.J. weren't frustrated, he wouldn't be human and he wouldn't be a competitor. I understand that the Eagles are winning and A.J. wants to win, but as a competitor, you also want to help your team win. The Eagles' passing offense is just as talented as their rushing offense. They got a number 1 running back in football, probably got a number 1 passing duo between Devontae and A.J. I would be frustrated too.
Yeah, very well said. And I think that A.J. Brown's frustration is real. And I think that is what you expect when you're a second-team All-Pro back-to-back last 2 seasons. You expect to get the football. 6 targets a game. He did not have a target until a minute 50 left in the second quarter.
Crazy.
That is unheard of. That is ungodly. That is not what you want this offense to be. However, I'm glad they said something now. And I'm glad, even though it was small, all A.J. said was passing because there's still time to get this thing fixed. And when you say passing, right? Because you posted something on Twitter or something that like you were explaining exactly what you said so eloquently, but every once in a while it would go to A.J. Brown saying passing. And I'm like, okay, for a viewer at home, what goes into passing? And when I break this down, I'm going to let James go. I'm going to break this down a little bit later in this segment. What goes into passing? I want to make sure you understand at home because I'm not going to say Jalen Hurts' name again. A play call. That is the offensive coordinator's job, to get the right play call in at the right time. Protection from the offensive line. Is the offensive line protecting me? Do I have time to actually go out and then execute? And the third one, execution. That falls on the quarterback. Those three things, play call, protection, execution. Keep that in mind when I go to the big board later.
Write it down.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to be short in this, but it's so much in this topic to talk about. Number one, I live this life. I live this life. And A.J. Brown lived this life at a way higher level than I lived this life. But as a receiver, it's totally different than running back. At running back, they can hand you the ball off, and you're getting a feel for the game. If you're a receiver and you don't see a target or touch this ball to the second quarter, your game ain't started yet. And that's real talk. Your game has not started yet. I'm not in a rhythm. I don't know where the defenders is coming from. I have not took a hit. It's still warm-ups for me. My game has not started yet. So we're in the second quarter, and your number one wide receiver, all-pro wide receiver, game has not started yet because I ain't even been involved in this game. Shady, it's like you going the whole game and not getting a carry to the third quarter. You think you're going to have a flow or a rhythm where these dudes going?
Ain't nobody drinking no Gatorade.
You're not.
Ain't nobody drinking no Gatorade.
You're not. So that's number one. So it is not a big deal that he's frustrated. It's a big deal that he ain't getting the ball. A.J. Brown knows. If I'm not involved in the offense, I don't care how good Saquon Barkley is. We're not winning a Super Bowl.
Right.
That's point blank, period. So that's where the frustration is coming from, too. We know we can tote it. Now, if we can throw it at a high rate, who is stopping us? That's where the frustration is coming from. And not only that, when you watch the games, it's really frustrating for me, and I'm not even A.J. Brown or Smitty, because Jalen Hurts don't know these dudes. That's what I'm taking off to watching the film. A.J. Brown is a big body receiver. Throw the ball over here, bruh. It is not going to be super separation. That is not what A.J. Brown brings to the game. He brings to the game tough catches. I don't care if the dude right there, throw it over there. I don't know what you're looking at. It always goes back to what Kurt Warner told me. I played with Isaac Bruce and Torrey Holt. The separation is woo. He open. I played with Anquan Bolden and Larry Fitzgerald. That is open, sir. Throw it. That is A.J. Brown. So Jalen Hurts don't know his receivers. Throw the ball over there, man, and they will go make a play. Number two, you cannot get him involved. One target in the second quarter, that's when he see the ball. That's frustrating. So on the sideline, that is what you're going to get. What are we doing?
And another thing is, like, I don't ever see them talking. Yo, come holler at me. What you got? You know what I'm saying? Because if I've never seen wide receivers, especially and AJ's like elite. And you the quarterback? And then we can all say that AJ's probably better than Jalen Hurts, obviously. Yo, come holler at me, though.
Yeah.
What you seeing out there? Throw it up or let's communicate. You don't even see him communicating. And another thing I don't like is, like, I hate when people say this. Oh, well, you know, Saquon's ball is at third. Fans, people, it's better for the running back. When the wideouts getting busy, too, now you don't know who to pick.
No question.
And it's like, yo, maybe we can need 16, 17 carries for Saquon to get 150 yards, whatever it is. The same thing he's getting when he's getting 28, 29 carries. You keep the running back fresh, and the offense is still explosive because now you know what to pick. And the last thing I want to say is, it's a long season, yo. We got the playoffs still. We got all that type of stuff. And we need our main guys healthy. And sometimes I feel like in certain games where we should blow these teams out, and now fourth quarter, some of the stars are sitting on the bench. Let's rest up. Because we know we can win these games. I think, we're winning these games, but we should be winning by at least 10, 12,
Here's what I don't
points.
get, Chase, before you, because I know you're not going to say the name that can't be said.
I'm not going to say
What frustrates me is this, and I shouldn't say it, but I have to. I feel like there are two types of people in this world. People that are willing to be honest about Jalen Hurts and everybody else. There's two types of people in the world. There aren't really many more. Like, be honest. And be honest doesn't just mean critical. Jalen Hurts is a top 3 winner in the game of football. A top 3 winner. That is probably more important than the next thing I'm going to say. But he is not an incredibly efficient passer. Two types of people in the world, people that are willing to be honest and everybody else. When I was at the Eagles game with Shady McCoy, I will not say the person's name who it was, but he said, man, I said something critical about Jalen Hurts, and now he won't talk to me.
No.
I said something critical about Jalen Hurts. There's only two types of people in the world.
But I mean,
which one are you?
Like
That's the question. Which one are you?
You've got to get A.J. Brown involved. A.J. Brown is not involved enough. I'm trying to go this whole segment without saying Jalen Hurts' name. I
Yo, but the crazy thing is, like, that's just one game. Myself, right, because I watch my boys deeply. I can show you 4 or 5 passes like that each game. So when you ask him about why AJ is frustrated, well, Dan, wouldn't you be frustrated?
That's what I'm
saying. If you a
saying.
top 3 receiver, which we all know AJ Brown's a top 3 receiver, and you ain't getting your targets, how am I helping the team? You want me blocking? Listen, respectfully, we get anybody in the world to go out there and just be a good blocker as a wide receiver. We need AJ Brown to be the wide receiver that we love. Every year is an all-pro for a reason. Now you got AJ Brown going crazy. You got Smitty doing this thing. And now you got the MVP, Saquon Barkley. Like, that's going to be a hard offense to watch.
I got one question for the desk quickly, because on this show, we're uniquely equipped to answer the question I'm about to ask. Most people at home, y'all probably have this question that I'm about to ask, so I want to answer it preemptively for you all. But the Eagles are winning. That's the response, Shady. But the Eagles are winning at Cut on Dime 25 Cent.
Right.
But the Eagles are winning at 89 Jones NT, whatever your handle is.
Yeah.
But the Eagles, that's what everybody is responding right now, saying to us. But the Eagles are winning. Why is he still frustrated? But the Eagles are winning. James, you're a receiver, so you first. But the Eagles are winning. Why is AJ still frustrated?
The Eagles are winning regular season games.
Oh.
The Eagles are not going to win a Super Bowl if you do not let the ball go on those plays. Point blank, period. The Eagles are not going to win a Super Bowl if the quarterback don't play better. Point blank, period. The Eagles are not going to win a Super Bowl if the star receiver gets 6 targets a game. If Smitty is not involved in this game, the Eagles are not going to win. Saquon Barkley is going to be very, very hard on Saquon Barkley if they cannot throw the ball down the football field. It is man-to-man coverage, or they going to sit in some type of zone. They can't do a lot of exotic stuff with you because of number 26 in the backfield. You can't. You can't be down here and getting out there. We'll hand that thing off and we off to the races. It's going to be zone or man-to-man. You have to throw the ball. There's no Super Bowl if the quarterback don't play better and get the ball to the playmakers.
In my opinion, I think this is a very, very good Eagles team. Oh, great. A great Eagles team. I'll say great Eagles team. Their only weakness right now is the passing game of the offense. Every other part of that team is excellent and great. Eventually, it's going to catch up to you. Eventually, you're going to have the quarterback, I'm not saying his name, actually make plays down the field to throw the football. A.J. Brown has every right to be frustrated.
And then, hold up now. The next quarterbacks we talk about, I'm going to hold you to that same standard you did Jalen Hurts, so you know that. But
I didn't even say his name. I was talking about A.J. Brown.
But like the Lions, though, I don't care about the Panthers. I care about the Lions. That's going to be our biggest task, right? There's no Super Bowl without beating the Lions. And we're going to have to throw the ball against the Lions. Right?
Yes.
Because they're going to put points up. I know our defense is top-notch, but in football, we need both sides to go to the Super Bowl.
Yeah. Really, we got to go to break?
Last
Really quick. Because as a quarterback, I really want to know, why isn't he pulling the trigger on that? No, for real. Is it something meant? Why aren't you pulling the trigger?
I wasn't going to talk about Jalen Hurts.
No, it's a serious question. Because I know sometimes when quarterbacks throw picks, they don't want to take those shots. I don't want to. Why isn't he pulling the trigger on some of that simple stuff?
He has one turnover in his 9-game winning streak. So they're just not throwing the football down the field, and it's a lot of RPOs, which we talked about earlier. I believe he's not seeing the field well. I mean, that's what it comes down to at the end of the day, because when you see these plays, they're open. They're not crazy plays, right? You have one read on that corner route that you missed. You just read the corner, right? A.J. Brown is his first read on the left, too, on the underneath throw, so you're not throwing it to him. I don't know if he's seeing it well. I don't think it's the pass game concepts, because I understand it. He's a really bright human being. He's a really bright guy. I just think they got to get some confidence. He has to get some confidence in letting these footballs go, especially to A.J. Brown, who's so big and tall. He's like the 50-50 guy. You got to get your best player involved.
All the tape you showed, he looking there.
That's what's crazy.
But it ain't like he looking over here and he ain't like, I didn't read that
There's a difference at the quarterback position where you're looking and you're just not seeing it or trusting
Bro,
it.
hold on. No.
I've been there before.
Help me.
That was the most brilliant thing that I didn't understand.
That.
What do you mean by that? You're seeing it, but you're not seeing it. Break that down.
You can go and you can get drilled, right, in these quarterback meetings that Kellen Moore has and these offensive meetings. You can say, hey, we're going to go 1, 2, 3, these sweeper reads, which I've talked to Kellen Moore. That's what they have. It's sweep the field left to right. Your eyes can be in the right spot, but if you're not confident enough to let the ball go, you might not see that he's open by 5 yards versus 1 yard. You might not see the cushion, so you're not letting it go. So your eyes are in the right spot, but you're not necessarily comfortable enough with either the progression of the play or the defender, because sometimes it's hard to see space as a quarterback. I don't think he sees the space between defenders and quarterbacks, right? Because I don't see him throw or try to fit in a lot of tight windows.
But I don't think he needs to. AJ's the best on our team as far as after the catch. You throw that dude a 6-yard pass on that little end route, he's gonna break a tackle, he's gonna get at least 12 yards. It's like, and then sometimes, because I heard you say that, but then when I watch him, like the one game I think is the Giants, it's like 3rd and 2 or something like that. A drag route, easy one to give me. He's gonna run for at least 12 yards. You take the go ball, it's just like something don't even add up.
Yeah, I mean.
I'm nervous because we get to the playoffs, like that's not gonna be acceptable. Like beating these teams is cool, we gonna do that.
And that's what matters. And the playoffs is gonna be tough.
That was good. What up, YouTube family? Welcome to the facility. Thanks for watching, and you better be sure to hit that subscribe button if you want to get more highlights from the show and all of our exclusive content.